Every night, your brain builds an entire world, populates it with people, gives you a body to move through it, and constructs a story you experience as completely real until the moment you wake up. You've done this every single night of your life. And so did every human who came before you, stretching back further than anyone can say for certain. We can't interview a Neanderthal about what they dreamed, but we can look at what dreaming actually is physiologically and trace it back through deep evolutionary time using species that are still around today. REM sleep, the stage most associated with vivid dreaming, isn't uniquely human. It's been documented in nearly every mammal studied and in birds as well. In 2001, MIT neuroscientist Matthew Wilson published research showing that rats display the exact same hippocampal brain activity while sleeping as they did while running a maze earlier that day. Activity so precisely matched that Wilson's team could tell, just from the brain signal, which part of the maze the rat was replaying in its sleep. Rats appear to dream about their day. If that's true for rats, whose common ancestor with humans lived roughly 90 million years ago, REM-based dreaming is almost certainly not something evolution invented recently. It's ancient. That means every early hominid species, Homo erectus, Neanderthals, Homo habilis, almost certainly dreamed in some form, using the same basic neurological machinery you're using tonight. So, what would those dreams have actually contained? Finnish cognitive scientist Antti Revonsuo proposed an influential idea in 2000 called the threat simulation theory. Dreaming didn't evolve as a meaningless byproduct of brain activity. It evolved as a low-cost simulator, allowing early humans to rehearse dangerous, threatening scenarios, predator encounters, physical conflict, without the real-world risk of actually experiencing them. Supporting this, modern dream research consistently finds that negative and threatening content dramatically outweighs neutral or pleasant content across most recorded dreams across cultures. Even now, in relatively safe modern environments, our brains still default to simulating danger while we sleep. If Revonsuo's theory holds, then a human dreaming 100,000 years ago wasn't having abstract symbolic dreams the way we often imagine ancient or primitive minds. They were almost certainly dreaming about exactly what dominated their waking hours. Predators circling the camp, conflict with rival groups, the physical struggle of the hunt, practice runs for staying alive, played out safely behind closed eyes. There's supporting evidence from a very different angle. Children. Developmental research shows that young children's dreams are dominated by animals and physical threats far more than adult dreams are, and this pattern holds cross-culturally. Some researchers interpret this as a kind of developmental echo, our dreaming brains defaulting to the oldest, most evolutionarily relevant content, animals, danger, physical vulnerability, before culture and modern life reshape what we dream about as adults. So the mainstream picture is fairly coherent. Dreaming is ancient, shared across mammals. Early human dreams were most likely dominated by threat rehearsal, predators, conflict, physical danger, and traces of that ancient default still show up in how children dream today. But there's a limit to how far this can be confirmed, and researchers are upfront about it. We can study brain activity in animals. We can study dream content in living humans. What we cannot do is directly access the subjective experience of a Neanderthal's dream, or confirm exactly how symbolic, how narrative, or how emotionally complex their dreaming actually was. Some researchers argue early dreaming was almost entirely reactive and instinctual. Others argue that once complex social cognition emerged, dreams likely carried more narrative and symbolic weight than we give them credit for. Without a way to directly access ancient subjective experience, this remains genuinely unresolved. Tonight, when you fall asleep, your brain will do something that predates language, predates civilization, predates your own species. It will build a world, put you inside it, and make you believe it, using a system your ancestors were running back when the biggest threat in their world was a sound in the dark outside the firelight. You're not just dreaming. You're running one of the oldest programs your brain has ever had.